All right, so let's see. So class. Yes. All right, thank you very much for showing up. For those people that actually show up, thank you for those people that are not on the phones and don't have earbuds in. At this current moment in time, because ain't no one in here would do something like that, right? That stuff is crazy. That's bananas. That someone come to class and actually do how you listen. No one would do that, though, right? So let's go through. Find the limit of an average rate of change. So now, this is what I want you guys to do. Circle this. Because you're going to see this often. Okay. You guys are going to see this one very often, and you have to be careful of what it's saying. Average rate of change is different than instantaneous rate of change. So, average rate of change is basically just the slope, delta y over delta x. So, find the average rate of change of this function from 2 to x, where x cannot equal 2. Okay, so let's write that out with the formula. So it's going to be from 2 to x. So that means that this is going to be starting here, ending here. So starting here, ending here. That means that this is going to be my x1 and this is my x2. Right? Those are going to be my inputs in this. So on the bottom, it's going to be from x minus 2, right? That's the bottom. That's the change in my x. Anyone questions on that setup? Just making sure, because this is like key to just about everything we're doing for the rest of the semester. Everything has to do with slope. Oh, yeah. Basically, that's all calculus is. Finding the slope of whatever it is. First semester, that's all you're doing is finding the slope. Big, fancy, weird ways of actually doing it, but it's just the slope. All right, so then the next one is going to be f of, so it's going to be f of x minus f of 2. Does that make sense so far? Okay, so f of x comes out to be x squared plus 3x minus my f of 2, which is going to be 2 squared plus 3 times 2. I didn't confuse anyone, hopefully. All right, next one is going to be on the bottom, x minus 2. All right, I'm going to do a little math over here. I get x squared plus 3x. Do the math, that's going to be 4 plus 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. So that's going to give me minus 10 all over x minus 2. Now, whenever I see something like that, I see a trinomial, and I'm looking at that, and I have that fraction right there. You guys, everyone should be like, F that. Yeah, factor. See what I did there? Hey. You guys see what I did there? F, that's a factor. Say F that, factor that. All right, this one should be an easy one. X squared plus 3x minus 10. What is that going to be? Factor it. Yeah. Okay. What do we get? Positive 5, negative 2. If you notice, in the denominator, I put that in parentheses. Now, hopefully, you can actually see where this is. Now, let's try it. Let's see. Now, what could I do in here now? I can cancel that. So I get x plus 5. Okay. So now, find the limit as x approaches 2 of the average rate of change of that same thing. Now, because I could not plug in 2 here, right? I could not plug in 2 because if I plug in 2, what's going to happen right here? It would be 0 in the denominator where that would be undefined. So I can't do that. So therefore, by doing this process, going through here, now can I plug in 2? Yeah. So I could say that the limit as it approaches 2 is going to be, yeah, I got something for you. 2 plus 5 is 7. So I did not write a note for this one. I was slacking this morning. Okay, so there we go. So now we have found the average rate of change. Okay, let's see. Who's this? Blade. ASU something? No, library when? 135. Victor, 135. Library. All right, let's go. There we go. Now, find the limit of a difference quotient. So that means that I'm going to plug this in, and h can't equal 0 because if it's equal to 0, it's going to be undefined. Using that information, so I'm going to use this right here, 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And I'm using the difference quotient of f of x plus h. Now, this is important that you know the name of this one. So when it says difference quotient, this one to use. That's not an I, that's this thingy right here. It is a, oh crap. No, it's supposed to be a comma. I thought it was a semicolon. Sorry. Thought I was, trying to copy it down directly, but no, comma. Okay, reading through here. For this function, find the difference quotient using this. Okay, so that means f of x plus h. What does that mean? What am I doing with that? I could almost, this f of x plus h, what do you say? Not really. So this notation right here, f of x means just the function, right? And what's going into the x? Just x, right? Okay, this right here, this part says everywhere there's an x, I'm replacing that with x plus h. So that's what that means right there. So let's try that. So that's 2 x plus h squared minus 3 x plus h plus 1 minus f of x which is just that function, 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Now, this is where those algebra skills come into play here. Are you lost, Blake? I didn't have enough room. Hey, Blake, on this one right here, I didn't have enough room. Yeah. So I have another blank. Yeah, let's make it all. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do the math over here. I got to do some distribution. Remember I taught you guys I need a little trick whenever I'm squaring something. So this is going to become, let me change up colors because why not? I have the colors to do it. 2 parentheses x squared plus 2xh plus h squared close minus 3x minus 3h plus 1 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. I forgot that one right there. That's what I forgot. Because that little mistake right there that I just did, yeah, that one's probably going to screw up most people. So whenever you're trying to do this algebra, yeah, don't mess up everything. Sophie, you're looking at me all crazy. What's wrong? No? Okay, can anyone tell me why this parentheses right here is important? It's not just the first term, right? It's got to be all of it that I'm actually going to do, and I have to distribute that whole thing. All right, so I'm going to distribute over here on the front and just continue. So don't forget about the h in the bottom. I'm just doing everything that's on the top right now. So this is going to give me 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3x minus 3h plus 1 minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 1. Yeah. Where did 2xh come from? Okay, good. Remember that neat trick I showed you guys? Or if you forgot about it already, it looks like this. There's a pattern. So I'm going to fail this. So first, all the way across, inside, and last. If I do this correctly, it's going to give me x squared plus 2, because I have 2 of the middle term, h squared. So this is always going to do. So whenever I'm squaring something, and I'm squaring like I did, that middle term always comes out like that. It's 2 times the middle term. Does that make you happy? No? But you understand? Is that okay? So that's a neat trick I could do all the time whenever I'm squaring a binomial. Blake? Wait, hold on. There we go. Is that better? All right, so is everyone okay now here? All right, next one down. So let's go ahead and combine like terms. So as I combine like terms, I'm going to start just crossing stuff off. So I have 2x squared and a negative 2x squared. I have a negative 3x. And I have a positive 3x. I have a positive 1, and I have a negative 1. Right? So now let's rewrite it in order of degrees. So the highest degree first, which is going to give me my, 2h squared plus 4xh minus 3h. Is that everything? Okay, and everything is still, what I forget, I can't forget about this, it's still over h. Now, look right here. In the numerator, is there a common factor in the numerator? H. And that's where this comes into play as I do this. H should be the common factor all the time in the numerator. You'll probably have more, but the only thing you want to take out is the H. And you'll see why. So if I take out the H, and I'm left with 2H plus 4x minus 3 all over. Very good. H is canceled. Now, right here, this is where this thing actually comes into play. The difference quotient now, I can put h equal to 0. Now using this, I can put h equal to 0. So if h is equal to 0, so this is going to be the limit as h approaches 0. I can plug in 0 now for the h because that's going to cancel out here. And so what's going to happen there? The 2h goes away, and I'm left with just 4x minus 3. That's an x. I know I'm going to get some paint here in a minute, so I'm going to clean that one up. Now, what is that actually for? So, I know you guys are going to write this down because it's going to be mandatory that you know this. Equation to find the slope at any given point. The equation to find the slope at any given point. So any point on this is going to give you that. So I already plugged in h approaches 0. So I had, it was, no, 4x minus 3. Yeah, 4x minus 3. Sorry. And the notation for this, I'm going to show you this now, of f prime of x. So let's say I want to find the slope of this equation when I get 0. Okay, let's try that. F prime of 0 is going to be -3. So what is that telling me? That means at the point 0, where on my line, x equals 0, the slope at that is going to be -3. That's going to be of the tangent line, but we're really not getting too far into that yet. All right, let's start with my original equation so you guys can see that. It was 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Hit enter. Now, I'm going to go right here, menu, analyze graph, and it is, now, in math, delta y over delta x is what? Slope, right? Delta y over delta x is slope. But writing it out, it's a lowercase d is also delta. So that's delta y over delta x. So if I want to find the slope, I would use this. So option 6. And ask for the point. 0. And what's it tell me? -3. What if I want to find that 2? So again, so 6, and that 2. There you go. My slope is going to be 5 at that point. Pretty neat, hopefully. So to do 5, watch. Let's go back to our equation to show what 2 is. So if I do f prime of 2, 2 times 4 is 8 minus 3. The slope of the tangent line at that point. Yes. We're not getting that far into yet. When we start talking about the equations of tangent lines, we're really not getting into that. But I'm trying to give you the direction we're going, the whole reason for doing all this, and that's going to be my rate of change at that point. Make sense? Okay. All right, that's it. I think that's it, right? Let me see. That's it. All right. That being said, make sure you all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification, support my channel, buy stuff in the merch store, okay? I'll give you guys 10% off.